Welcome to the Encouragement for Work podcast with your host, Mark Griffin, founder and owner of In His Name HR. Each week, Mark interviews nationally known thought leaders from corporate America, higher education, churches, and ministries. His goal is to bring you great ideas that help engage your employees, shift your culture toward higher performance, and increase employee loyalty at the organization you lead. Each episode features an idea or process that's made a tremendous impact on employees and employers alike. Now sit back, relax, and listen in as he delivers encouragement today through this episode's special guest.
Hello, and welcome to the Encouragement for Work podcast. I'm your host, Mark Griffin. Today, I'm very excited to have a guest on today, Ericka McPherson. Ericka is going to talk to us today about Covenant Choice, a benefit plan that's offered nationally. We've been approached by many employers as they look for kingdom-related healthcare plans. And we've run across this plan and we've invited Ericka to come on our podcast to share with our listeners an awesome opportunity to become part of a wonderful medical plan. So Ericka, welcome to the podcast. I'd like, if it's okay with you, if you tell us a little bit about your background to get us started.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, Mark, so much for having me on your podcast and getting out the mission of Covenant Choice. So I joined Covenant Choice because I felt like there was really a lack of marketplace options for Christian-based employers to be able to have a benefit plan that aligns with their values. And I come from a background, well, to start off, I'm a lawyer by trade. But I also, in my duties as a formal general counsel for a corporation, also managed the human resources department. And part of that was overseeing a self-funded healthcare plan, to which was funded by, of course, private corporate dollars. And with that, you have a lot of control and flexibility whenever you become a self-funded plan, but you also have a great deal of due diligence, and you have to be able to make sure that you put things in your plan that are really being beneficial to the employees that are on the plan, as well as making sure that you are being aware of, your cost containment strategies. So with that being said, I felt like from my Christian faith being an important piece of who I am and what I do, in connection with my ability to understand the self-funded benefit piece, I felt like Covenant Choice was a really great place for me to be planted and grow our offerings.
That's wonderful, Ericka, because we actually get calls all the time where people feel like they're losing the control or losing the oversight of their plan, where brokers bring them the annual review and they slide things into the plan and then they sign for the plan and then they quickly find out that there's things that they don't agree with from a corporate perspective that don't align with their values. And it's awesome that you have this opportunity to offer that to folks. So you basically tailor the benefits to align with the Christian values. Could we go a little bit deeper with that? We have a lot of Mennonite clients, Amish clients. We have clients that are family-owned for-profit businesses, but we also have a lot of religious exempt clients like churches and ministries. How could this help out with our clients?
Well, Mark, first of all, I want to bring up go back to your point about the fact that you're exactly right. A lot of times businesses and organizations, they work very closely with a broker, which is very important. And we too at Covenant Choice want to work with employers, brokers, to make sure that we can bring them a plan that best suits their needs. And with that also being said, a lot of times you're exactly right. Historically, whenever you're on what's called a fully insured plan, which is more along the lines of the bigger pre-made bundled approaches that is out in healthcare right now in the marketplace, when you are a Christian private-based organization that really wants to ensure that your values are being represented in the benefit offerings, sometimes you don't really think through what all goes into the actuarial side and the underwriting side as to everybody who participates in those large plans. All of those claims are being figured in, and ultimately you are sharing in a piece of that pie whenever you pay your premiums and claims are paid, right? Everybody who is on that big brand are also paying for the things that possibly may be objectionable to your faith-based values. So that's, number one, we want to work closely with brokers. And again, Mark, in regards to the different types of organizations we work with, I want to be real clear about what Covenant Choice mission is. We want to provide a shared ownership of a practical, stable, affordable, and flexible employer healthcare program, of course, that's going to align with their values.
Wonderful. So our next area that we're going to talk about is how you're able to offer this nationally. And I think that's pretty exciting as well, because I know historically, when you look back at benefits, as long as my career has been in human resources, sometimes they were isolated to states or regions. You had the Blue Cross Blue Shield situation in the 80s. Then you had HMOs that appeared over the years. And now, and I pray it's a good thing, we have national plans. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So here at Covenant Choice, we actually offer two different types of offerings, but let me get into the first one that really put us on the map and that we have been writing now. It'll be our 5th year offering. So we have partnered with our fronting insurers called Berkeley Accident and Health, which is nationally able to offer our stop loss policies to self-funded employers. Typically around the size of 100 or more employees is really a good fit for our captive offering, which again, Mark, is offered anywhere a particular organization may be in the country, which is fantastic. And a stop loss group captive program is really something that's going to utilize, a captive insurance company that reinsures, again, the stop loss policies of multiple private companies wanting Christian values and making it a larger, more diverse risk pool. We always like to say that you're stronger together than you are alone. And of course, it's even better when you can go in and purchase your stop loss offerings with other Christian businesses throughout the country.
Wonderful. Can you help our listeners, because many don't know a lot about the differences between like a PPO and a self-funded plan? And I certainly have that experience where you buy the gap insurance and go into a bigger risk pool, but many just don't understand that. And I know there's a lot of savings depending on the makeup of the organization on both sides. Could you please help with that?
Yeah, sure. So traditionally, whenever you're in what's called like a fully insured model, what you do is you essentially just pay a premium to a program that's already built. And a lot of times those programs are regulated by the state government. And you lose a lot of your control and flexibility whenever you're in that model because one, the insurance company itself is ultimately dictating what you pay for and how you pay it and what you are going to pay. And again, they're tied to the state regulations, which in some states are not per se as flexible and understanding as faith-based Christian values, need to align with. So that creates particularly a challenge for faith-based businesses. What's great about a self-funded insurance plan is that puts you in the realm of federal law that provides the legal protections that are in place for Christian businesses. And that's what really sets us apart, Mark.
That makes sense. So you're basically taking the plan and parsing it out and aligning it with the values of the organization, which is of great benefit. And many people don't understand that. I think they feel like they have to go into the plan that's being offered and go into the pool of what they don't agree with. And that's just not the case. That was a great explanation. Should people be nervous about these high deductible plans and taking the risk as a privately held organization? I'm sure you hear fear at times.
Sure. So with any insurance program, of course, you're going to be able to set your limits of liability that the organization really feels comfortable with. The difference is whenever you're looking in a captive program, the nice piece is that there's an additional layer of protection for those mid-catastrophic claims that could come in to where maybe the next year, whenever your renewal happens, you're not going to get quite as hard because there's a nice buffer in place with other faith-based aligned organizations that have come together to pool their resources so that when there are, unfortunately, high dollar claims do happen on average, that you're able to hopefully absorb the loss on that to the organization a little bit better when it comes time for renewal. So it really is a nice way to, one, get out of the state regulated mandates that are
Sure.
imposed on Christian businesses on what can be and not in your plan. And two, it's a nice way to be able to create your own plan, create your own plan design, implement those cost containment, things that really help at the end of the day, the Christian business's bottom line and what that looks like in regards to the healthcare spend. So it's a really nice way to address a lot of different issues that businesses are facing today.
And that's most important with the businesses being able to invest back into their employees when you like to save money and put the money back into benefits that are going to really help the employees and the employees' families. So I know you offer transparent structure and costs, and let's talk about that for a couple minutes, Ericka.
Yeah. So again, whenever you are in an ERISA regulated federal type program where you have the ability to create your own healthcare document, if you will, your own healthcare plan, you have the ability to now come in and hire the different vendors that are best suited to help you maintain costs. And with that, you can also have the transparency component because
Sure.
that you are contracting with these different vendors to help you meet your health plan and, in our case, faith-based goals, right? So you're able to really get down and get granular with not only what your plan's going to pay for to, is this going to be something objectionable in my faith that maybe I don't want to pay for my healthcare plan dependents, or all the way to, well, is this something to where this particular vendor is going to cost me more and then ultimately it's going to cost the plan more and then of course cost my employees more. You can really control things all the way through.
That's wonderful. And then finally, wrapping it up, you offer multiple choices for individual companies, providing flexibility. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, sure. So whether it be on our captive program or we recently just launched a new level funded program for smaller businesses in about 34 states, the businesses are able to pick what type of network, for say, that they want to implement within their plan. They can pick their level of liability that they would like to have on their specific deductible limits. And they're really able to manage and control what best suits them. So, maybe in one state, one particular network is more beneficial than the other. We can help work through some of those challenges to make sure that you're still able to not only, protect your faith-based values, but also be able to still continue to provide a product that is well suited for your employee population in your particular state. And we can work with different types of vendors, whether
Sure.
again, it's going to be on the network side, the third-party administrator side, or your pharmacy benefit manager, for example. We're able to work with all of the different vendors that are best suited for the particular client at hand. And of course, the broker is also going to be an important component to all of those things too, Mark.
That's wonderful. This has really helped us out. I just have a question for you. We do have a lot of partners that we work with nationally, and I really like your statement that you like to educate the brokers and you like to educate the folks that come around the plan. If somebody needed to reach out to you, what's the easiest way for them to do so?
We're actually excited. We have a new offering to where anybody can text employer or broker to 28323 on their phone. And that's really the easiest way to get a hold of us, Mark. Again, you could text the word employer or broker to 28323, and our Covenant Choice team would love to get a hold of them and work through what would be best for their faith-based clients or an employer who's looking for a faith-based plan.
Thank you so much, Ericka. And listeners, we'll have all that contact information and links in the description. Ericka, thank you again so much for your wisdom and sharing with our listeners. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye now.
God bless.
This episode of Encouragement for Work has been brought to you by Job Shepherd. Post-COVID-19 recruitment has been unquestionably hard for employers, with many struggling to find quality employees in the aftermath. Religious exempt employers have had an especially difficult time. Welcome to Job Shepherd. a platform that will change all of this for you. Job Shepherd was created to meet the demand by Christian employers, including ministries, camps, churches, colleges, and Christian for-profit companies in their search for qualified job candidates. Now, for a limited time only, employers post a job for free. Job seekers, come join us. You are always free. Learn more at www.jobshepherd.com.